So about 2 years ago, I was just frustrated. As you know, I'm over 50 years old, so I always say I'm a half a century years old. And with that, I expected to achieve certain goals in my life, like most of us do, because this is, quote unquote, midlife crisis time. And so with all that, I had not achieved anything. And the one thing I really wanted to achieve was be a speaker. But I grew up, you know, very closed. My parents were divorced. I didn't speak out, and all of that frustration just built inside of me. And finally, one day, I just said, I got to change all of this. And so, what I started to do was use my LinkedIn connections, where at that point were just names and profile pictures, right? And so I said, I need to know who these people are. And of course, this is mid-pandemic, post-pandemic, so we're coming out of quarantine. And I started making connections. And one of the persons that I made a connection with, his name is Mitch Gray, and he's been an essential element in my transformation. And so he's actually mentioned in the book. And so he gave me four things because I told him I wanted to be a speaker. I just don't know how to do it. I don't know the path to get there. I don't know who to contact. And and when I talk to, speaking coaches, they say, I could get you on stage. It's just going to cost you 12 to $15,000 because I'm worth that much money. And so I've got to pass up that offer because I don't have it. And so Mitch said, I'm just going to mentor you out of the kindness of my heart. Now, it does happen to know, just for the backstory, he was a pastor of a Christian church at one time. He's not a pastor anymore, but he still has that mission in life to help those who
Mm-hmm.
we can. And
Mm-hmm.
so, with his help, he taught me four things. And I repeat these things every day. And the phrases are, yes, you can. I give permission. Because you are able, let's find a way.
I love that.
And so, through that, all of 2022, which was last year, was spent putting this book together. And so, this book is a metaphor of my life that if I were to have a do over, this is what it would look like. Because this story is about a 17-year-old who's stuck in a mundane life, who's living under his father's expectations,
Mm.
and he just gets fed up and says, I got to change. And so I just need to know what's on the other side of that mountain because they live in a valley. I need to know what's on the other side of the mountain.
Like literally, you live in a valley.
Well, he does.
He does, right?
The guy in
Right,
the story does. I live in a
right.
house.
I know, but
So, but that's the story. And so
right.
John, who's the main protagonist of the story, goes to his mentor, which is not his daddy, and says, I've made up my mind. I've got to go. And his mentor said, okay, how are we going to do it? So everything I just said to you, yes, you can. I give permission because you are able. Let's find a way, was what the mentor told John. And John did it. So he grabbed a group of his friends and he climbed the mountain.
I love that story. And now he's helping others to do the same.
But I don't know. He never makes it across the mountain
Well, so how does
because
that,
because the story in the very last chapter intentionally leaves him at the top of the mountain,
right?
and I want the reader to push the story forward.
Right.